to see the glass half full without gaslighting yourself. In case we haven't met yet, I'm jessxgoh. I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. And I feel it's really important for me to share this with you because I have gone through this so many times. And I think it's very wise to share my insights and my experiences around this. So it's very easy to get caught up in law of attraction and affirmations to create something that we desire. And we usually desire this from an egoic place of deficiencies, lack, insecurities, because this is something that we want to control. The problem with law of attraction and affirmation when it's used incorrectly is that it keeps you into this loop of false hope and denial of your blockages that is stopping you from creating and manifesting your best life or a different reality or a completely new outcome or experience. And so when we use affirmations and law of attraction, it's very easy to bypass the blockage, the trauma or the pain until we address it. If we're operating from a place of ego, wanting to control someone, a situation or an experience, and we're calling it in, it's not going to work because it's not in alignment with your soul. When something feels in alignment from a heart level, things will naturally fall into place the way it needs to without you controlling it. But by simply allowing it to happen as you surrender to the process. So I'm going to share with you my personal experience that I've just came out of that will make more sense. So we can choose to see the glass half full from a place of reality, positivity and alignment from a soulful place, or we can choose to do this from a place of fantasizing a situation or a person, creating illusions around it, because it comes from a place of fear, anxiety, and scarcity. It's out of our control. And this is all childhood trauma stuff. And possibly past life stuff too, as well as ancestral. So, the past 8 months, I was engaging and connecting with a man that I felt there was a connection and chemistry that we shared. And I had a strong pull to see him in Tokyo. However, it didn't make sense for me to just go to Tokyo for a holiday. I had to have a good reason why I'm going to Tokyo. And I started to realize on a soul level that there are so many people in Tokyo who are in need of this work of trauma recovery. Such a disjointed and disconnected culture where it's so hard to authentically communicate and relate to one another from a soulful place. And I feel into it what Spirit was showing me and telling me. And I kept getting messages, I need to go to Tokyo, I need to go to Japan. And I was getting these messages through the mail and through Facebook. Travels in Tokyo, Japan. And I started to take action on it and make it work. And it did. I'm now running my trauma recovery workshops there and tickets are already selling. So to me, that was a massive risk that I was willing to take because it was guided by Spirit and the reality showed up the best outcome possible. If it was coming from a place of ego, there's no way that I could have connected with the right people to collaborate with and the right consumers who would be ready for this experience. So I'm going to bring this back into my love life, because that is the most trickiest situation to see what is reality. Because we can get so caught up in the rosy pink lenses and not see reality. Just love hearts and butterflies and rainbows and pixies and all the good stuff, right? So the thing is that the way things ended was I was about to sleep early so I could get ready for my second and last talk at the Goodness Me Festival in Adelaide. And he sent me a message telling me that he has a new girlfriend. And this was new information for me. He never told me he was dating other women. He kept telling me he was busy. And that's why he's not responsive to my messages. And he already knew that I booked in flights to go to Tokyo. And he already knew that I wanted to see him. And he confirmed that if he's available, and he should be, he will show me around in Tokyo. And I just hope you don't have too high expectations. So, when he gave me the message that he has a new girlfriend, it's very valid for any normal human being who has a heart to react, because they put their heart and soul into this person, into this connection, to make something happen. And just to keep the story real short, I was not able to sleep that night. I only had 2 hours of sleep. And after 2 hours of sleep, I shared with him how I really felt through a voice message in a contained and healthy and functional way. And I haven't heard back from him. And I gave him 2 days to respond, because I wasn't going to wait for a week for him to respond to my messages, which is how he does things time to time. Knowing that he has time to date other women, I'm not interested in waiting for a week for a response. And by the time I get to Sydney, I don't want to communicate with him if he cannot give me a response. So that's how I ended it, was to block him. And so I was rattled, and I couldn't process the anguish that I felt that evening, because I was sharing the house with other performers and facilitators who were performing the next day, and I didn't want to disrupt their sleep. And I didn't want to go outside because it was midnight and there were other people living in the vicinity. So in the morning, I just felt the need to speak to a healthy masculine figure who could hold space for me. And that was my business partner in Japan. And I'm really grateful for him. He was able to make time for me because he had plans that weekend. And I was really grateful that I had a few minutes of his time where he could just hear me out without judgment and just compassion and acceptance. And this is where I was able to vent out my anger and frustration and hatred towards the man that I adored. And I was able to process the grief as well from it, the sadness. How did it come to this way? Why am I always the last to know? Why is it that this information was given to me now when he knew that I was traveling for a speaking gig? And since that phone call, I was able to give one of my best and most vulnerable talks that I've ever given in public. And to be able to be present and deliver an ancestral karma clearing activation, which you can see my talk on my YouTube channel at the Goodness Me Festival, which you can find there. And it's been a month now since that incident. And what has helped me was to reframe that situation. I had my pity party moments, don't get me wrong, because the way I saw it was the glass half empty. I wasted 8 months of my time on the wrong man who doesn't appreciate what I have to offer and doesn't value who I am. He doesn't consider and respect my time, my energy, and my feelings, and dismisses it as negative. And what has helped me to integrate my healing process from this is grounding. And I've been using these tools of SHUNGITE crystals to really help me ground myself, to be in the present moment and not get caught up in my head 24/7, 7 days a week about this person that isn't worth any more of my time and energy on. Just the way he gave me that information that he's got a girlfriend. He moved on very fast, obviously. So the SHUNGITE pendant, I've been wearing it every single day since I received it, and it has really helped me shifted my mood. I've been really impressed by this pendant because I never thought it would take me this fast to get over someone. Whereas last year it took me months and I went suicidal with this man. And I didn't have these tools in place until I've been wearing these tools and using these tools. I was able to sleep well at night. I wasn't waking up in the middle of the night and struggle to get back to sleep. So this has helped me to sleep at night. The other thing is that I've been drinking the SHUNGITE water, and this has really helped me to lift my mood. When I first started drinking it, I felt like I was on a high. I'm like, what on earth did I have? I feel very loose and light, and like I see life as a joke, and I don't feel heavy. And it's because I've been drinking at least a bottle of SHUNGITE water every single day, and it has definitely improved my mood, my well-being. I'm less heavy, less negative. I'm a lot more accountable with my thoughts. I'm in a high state of consciousness by drinking this water. It's also great when you put tap water in it because it kills the stuff that we shouldn't be drinking in it. It neutralizes the energy of it, such as the heavy metals and stuff like that. And it acts as a purifier and detoxifier, the SHUNGITE crystals. It's a particular crystal which is a light SHUNGITE, not just any SHUNGITE, and it's from Russia. And this particular crystal is safe to drink water in. So those are the two tools that has really helped me in grounding and integrating my healing process really fast. So if you're interested in getting yourself these beautiful SHUNGITE tools, click on the link below and use the code HARRYSPRING for 15% off. I highly recommend them. However, how was I able to see the glass half full? And it's through this process of integration, not victimization, I was able to see the gift in it all. Sure, I wasted 8 months of my time with a guy who wasn't going to give me what I could. But those past 8 months has taught me I lowered my standards just to connect with this guy, to compromise myself, just to be with this guy, to get some form of validation or attention from him. I also learned that I didn't truly embrace my self-worth. I didn't see my value. Instead, I saw the value in another person. That wasn't going to make me as a number one priority. I could see the distortion in that. I fantasize and idolize this person and put him on a pedestal because it came from a place of scarcity, that I can't get anyone better, when in fact that is not true. That is the egoic deficiencies of my little girl that didn't get the love, validation, and attention and affection from her father. Instead, he wasn't physically and emotionally available for her. He didn't devote himself to her, and that's exactly how I experienced it with this man. He chose someone else. He's got a girlfriend. That was the same with my father. He chose mistresses and hookers instead of being with me and mother, instead of being with his family, instead of doing the right thing and honoring his family duties and responsibilities, or to at least divorce my mother and move on and do the right thing, but he never did. And so that was the experience that showed up for me with this man. He didn't communicate to me that he was seeing other women. He just decided to drop the bomb on me at the worst timing, when in fact it was the best timing, because it had allowed me to deliver my most vulnerable talk ever. And the gift that I can see and feel from this experience is I wasn't meant to go to Tokyo to see this man or to even engage with him. I was meant to go to Tokyo to share my work and my medicine, because I could not justify why I was going to Tokyo just to see him, because I've already been to Tokyo. It's not a place where I would go for a holiday. So I needed a big why, a purpose, a reason why I had to go to Tokyo. And I've realized that there is a lot of tormented souls living there because of the disjointed and disconnected culture that's been so brutally ingrained and well established. And I feel a strong pull from spirit to run a weekend workshop to transform trauma and change people's lives there, so they can start to connect with themselves and with others authentically, and to communicate authentically as well, to shift the culture of that environment. The other gift that I got from this experience was, thank you for showing me my self-worth. Thank you for showing me what I was willing to tolerate. Thank you for showing me that I need to strengthen my boundaries and set the bar higher. Thank you for showing me my self-worth. And if it wasn't for these experiences, I wouldn't have gained the wisdom and the insights that I have about myself and about love and romance today. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have connected with such incredible, amazing human beings in Tokyo and people all over Japan who are wanting to engage in my work, who are collaborating with me to share my work and to form beautiful connections with as well. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gone down this path to make things happen, to be of service to humanity in Japan. So everything happens for a reason, and this is how we can see the glass half full, is from a place of reality. What is tangible, what is real, and not an illusion or a fantasy. And so moving forward, I can manifest from a place, from a deep sense of knowing, a deep sense of wisdom and experience. And to also call in the healing that is needed for me to shift the energetic and emotional dynamic with my father, even though he's no longer on this earth. But it's very clear to me that there is something inside of me that needs to be shifted to attract and magnetize a man who is 100% available to me, physically, sexually, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, energetically, and is ready to devote himself to me because he sees my value, because I choose to see my value. And that is the journey and the path that I'm embarking on with myself. So if you feel called to start healing old versions of you that is acting out in dysfunctional ways, that is holding you back from seeing reality, that is holding you back from seeing the glass half full without gaslighting yourself with insecurities and scarcities and control in inadequacies, I invite you to come along to my full moon childhood trauma clearing circle via Zoom. If you're in Sydney, you're welcome to come along to my place in Bondi Beach, and you can click on the links below to learn more and to register a spot for this beautiful divine experience. If you feel that you are ready to dive deeper, where you are ready to shift and release and let go of the traumas that you've experienced in your upbringing, in your past lives, then Transforming Trauma Weekend Workshop is for you. I'm running one in Melbourne and in Tokyo, and we're going to focus on clearing out trauma physically, emotionally, psychologically, energetically, biologically, spiritually, and so much more. So if you'd like to learn more, click on the links below. It will bring you to a different page where you can discover that this is right for you. And if you feel this is a hell yes, please book yourself a workshop ticket. And if you feel you need more guidance, questions, clarity, concerns that you have, or you're required to be on a payment plan, please click on the clarity call below, which is a free 45-minute consultation with myself on Zoom to see if this is right for you. I hope you got something out of this video. It's really important that we learn to stop fantasizing certain situations that will never happen, because it's just not tangible when it comes to fantasy. I hope you can learn that we co-create our experiences, whether it's from a place of trauma or from a place of soul, depending where you're at in your journey. That you can use law of attraction and affirmations when it feels in alignment with your soul, not from your ego, because you will be deeply disappointed if you do from a place of ego. And that you are able to separate reality from idolization. That it's time to love yourself first and stop idolizing or putting someone on a pedestal, because again, that is a fantasy, not reality. The reality is the proof in the pudding. What is tangible? What is real? What is factual? What is evidential? Despite the connection and the chemistry that we can experience with another, it doesn't mean anything until action takes place in the right direction to make things happen. I hope this serves you so much, my love, as much as this journey has served me to my potential and for my highest good on all levels that needs clearing and healing. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a like, comment below, and share it with your loved ones who are in need of this. May you be the light that's in your heart.